So again, the idea with complex numbers is we now need to go back to the beginning, and all of the things that we learned how to do for regular numbers and for fractions and for decimals and all of the other types of things, all the other types of numbers that we've learned, we now need to redo. So we've already talked about how do you graph complex numbers, how do you find the absolute value of complex numbers. So now we're going to start way back at the beginning. We're going to say, well, how do you add them? How do you subtract them? Right? And here's the nice thing about complex numbers is you can combine them just like you combine any like terms. We're going to take the ones that are alike, which means the real numbers, and the other ones that are alike, which are the imaginary numbers, and we're just going to combine them. So kind of pretend like I is a variable. So if you take a look at this first problem, I'm trying to add together two complex numbers, 3 plus 7i and negative 9 minus 3i. So I'm going to take the real parts, the 3 and the negative 9, and this thing in the middle says add those together. So I'm going to say 3 plus negative 9, well, that's negative 6. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to say 7i plus negative 3i. Well, 7 plus negative 3 is going to be 4, but I need to keep the I attached to it because that's like terms. I'm going to say plus 4i. And that's all you have to do. It's just like if I was x or any other variable. Okay, I'm just going to combine the like terms, numbers with numbers, i's with i's. So here's a second example for you. You have to be a little bit more careful when you subtract 7 minus 6, right? So again, real number minus real number. 7 minus 6 would be 1. Negative 14, so don't forget that there's a minus sign here. Negative 14i, again, minus negative 3i. So let me just come off to the side real quick. This says negative 14 minus negative 3. Well, that's like a plus plus. So this is really negative 14 plus 3, and that's negative 11. So I'm going to say minus 11i. So be careful when you're subtracting. You have to make sure that you subtract negatives, and you don't say, oh, look, I already got a subtraction sign. I don't need to worry about this one. You do need to worry about that one. It's minus negative, so it ends up being plus. So I would say the difference of 7 minus 14i and 6 minus 3i is 1 minus 11i, just like you would if you were doing regular variable numbers.